Maybe it's my own fault. Maybe I led you to believe my highlights started on the podium and not in practice.
The legend Rosenberg is a 4-time champion of the world.
Maybe I made you think that every race I did, I won.
2 litres in the tank for legend Rosenberg, rounding through the final corner. Does the greatest to ever do it, but if he doesn't, Scotson David steals it at the yard of bricks.
Maybe it's my fault that you think I'm unbeatable. Maybe I led you to believe that championships were given to me and not something I worked for every single day. Maybe I destroyed the league, or maybe you're just making excuses. Maybe you can beat me. Come and try.
And a big good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome along to Formula Virtual Racing. We have returned here at the F1 Championship. It is season 14, and what a treat we are in for. 'Tis the season of crossplay. We have our first crossplay session ever here in Formula Virtual Racing. We have drivers on the PC platform, and we are supposed to have drivers on the Xbox as well, but they are not here this evening. But it is our first cross-play session, and I'm excited. I hope you're excited at home as well. We have a great show coming up tonight here from the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas, and it is bound to be an exciting one. New seasons, new drivers in new teams, and new drivers just in any teams, new drivers on the grid as well, which we are very much excited for. Biggest change, this man, Legend Rosenberg. He is no longer a 4-time world champion, he's now a 5-time world champion, and he's looking to win another world championship for a different team. He's looking to win for Mercedes, and the Mercedes team, who have tasted some success in the past, not quite won a Drivers' Championship, but they have tasted some success, and Legend Rosenberg is looking to deliver for them. Luke Davies as well has swapped from his faithful McLaren for the first time since he joined the team back in, I want to say season 7. His first time not in a McLaren. He has just travelled a little bit down south to Grove to join Williams Racing. Himself and Yafin Panguru will be in the Williams. But first qualifying laps of the season then. Legend Rosenberg getting us underway. And you can see him rounding through Turn number 1 in towards the S's section. Circuit of the Americas, of course, recently raced in Formula 1, literally last weekend. So you've got a nice taster of what's coming up so far here this evening. And the drivers have been warned not to do what Max Verstappen and Lando Norris did down at turn number 12. We're not dealing with that one. Legend Rosenberg in towards the end of the first sector, then down towards the turn number 11. Hairpin. Quite a difficult corner, this one. You got to make sure you nail your traction upon exit, and you definitely want to be running a good bit of straight line speed. But this circuit is an interesting one. This circuit is made of 3 real-life... Sorry, I say real-life Formula 1 circuits. This is a real Formula 1 circuit. But 3 historical Formula 1 tracks. The designer, Herman Tilke, claims he designed this after Silverstone, Istanbul Park and Hockenheim. And you can see the Istanbul Park corners coming up here. The triple right-hander. Of course, Istanbul Park's famous triple apex at turn number 8. Sector 1 after Silverstone, and then the middle sector after Hockenheim. Rosenberg, a little bit wobbly in towards the left-hander, but no harm, no foul. Here comes Legend Rosenberg. Is he going to be able to beat Dylan McClemens' lap of a 1:31.4? He is by 0.2 of a second, and the Dutchman is on provisional pole position, a position he is very much familiar with in Formula Virtual Racing. Luke Davies rounding through the left-hander. Does he make the same mistake Rosenberg did? No, it's quite smooth. Tyler Davison, 1:31.2, goes quicker than Legend Rosenberg. That's kind of come out of nowhere. Davies 0.4 of a second behind. We're still waiting more drivers to complete their laps. Callum Birch, oh my goodness me, look at this. What a way to start a qualifying session. Birch now goes quickest, 1:31.2, just about pips Tyler Davison. Here's Pierre Dezern. He goes to 7th. New driver, of course, this season, Pierre, or it's his first main driver roster, I should say. New colours for Avesta Gobadi as well, who is still joined by Julius Gassner, but he is in the Aston Martin British Racing Green rather than Red Bull's blue, and Avesta was quite happy to abandon Red Bull. It was almost a championship-winning partnership, but Avesta wanted a new opportunity. He also doesn't like Red Bull, so wanted to join Aston Martin. But here comes Avesta Gobadi rounding through this triple right-hander. He's invalid there. That's a very, very silly sort of mistake to make through that sector, and that is an invalid lap time by Avesta Gobadi. Slipstream going on between the two Dutchies in the Mercedes. Oh no, that's actually an Alpine who's giving the tow. So that is Tim Denhire, who, dare I say, getting a tow off Callum Birch. Yes, two friends, of course, racing with the same GT7 esports team, Spider GT, of course, who are racing in the FVR GT Championship, which you, I'm assuming, tuned into last night. Tim Denhire, though, rejoining and rekindling his love with Legend Rosenberg. They won the Constructors' Championship for Haas, of course, in Season 11. The season where Luke Davies won the Drivers' Championship. It was one of the first ever times in Formula Virtual Racing where the Constructor Champion winner didn't have the Drivers' Champion in the team. It was a very interesting turn of events. But Tim Denhire looking to win another title alongside Legend Rosenberg. He goes 7th in qualifying here for the United States Grand Prix so far. This man, home hero, Matthew Stotts, born in the United States, lives in the United States, wants to win in the United States. And Stotts, I think, would like to win here more than anything. He's an American driver. He's driving an American car, although most of the Haas is built in Italy, but it's an American team, of course, around an American track. I think if you could write fairy tales, Stotts winning this race would be one of them. In towards the left-hander comes Matthew Stotts. We'll see his sector split time, 1:01.5. That's competitive, you know. It's not off the pace anyways. It is competitive from Matthew Stotts. If it's up there with Callum Birch, I'm not too sure. That's a phenomenal lap by Callum Birch, by the way, to pip Rosenberg and Davison, two drivers who fancy their chances of being frontrunners in this year's championship. Callum Birch doing a phenomenal job. Callum, of course, a reserve driver for now, but I imagine if there is any underperformers in the field or lack of attendance, Callum Birch will be jumping into their seat. Good lap, Matthew Stotts goes to 6th. Top 6 separated by just under 0.4 of a second. That's quite close for an FVR qualifying session. Usually you'd have Rosenberg galloping away at the front, but that is quite close. There goes the second Alpine of Dylan McClements. He's now galloping away at the front. 1:30.998. Didn't this man impress at the end of last season? He was challenging for race wins every week without failure. Even took one around Albert Park, almost won in Silverstone as well. But it was a phenomenal rookie year for Dylan McClements. It wasn't a full year, of course, but was a phenomenal rookie campaign. There's something special brewing between himself and Alpine. That is for sure. There is something special brewing there, and Dylan McClements would like to maybe have a stab at the championship, an outside chance. We'll wait and see. No lap from this man either. A returning favourite. Well, you either love him or you hate him. He's one of them type of drivers. It is Juan Hernandez, of course, the Spaniard who won everything but an FVR Drivers' Championship. And he's come back and he wants to win what he didn't think he could do. He's back in the Scuderia Ferrari, the team that he won his Constructors' Championship with in Season 6 with Jake Marsh. Himself and Jake won it in a controversial way in Singapore. Controversial in the fact that they were tied on points come the end of it, but it was Juan and Jake who did take the crown. Running through the triple right-hander now. Let's see where Juan is able to go. Up and across the line goes Hernandez. It's only 10th position. That's not ideal, and Juan is going to have to to go again there. 1.2 seconds off the field. Let us know in the stream chat, folks, if the audio is all okay. Couple of issues. Thankfully, they're all sorted for the FVR draft stream that you would have watched on Wednesday evening. But a couple of issues, so hopefully all is okay. Callum Birch, big improvement in the first sector. Wouldn't be enough for pole position, but it would put him a little bit closer to his teammate for the evening in the form of Dylan McClements. Tyler Davison on a run as well. Let's have a look on board with Davison's run through the S's, through the first sector. Absolutely flat through here with no issues. Tyler Davison, a little bit of a wobble there. He is improving in that first sector. 24.9 is up on his time. Legend Rosenberg coming towards the start-finish line, though, and this is going to be quickest of the bunch, unless he lost a lot of time in this final sector. It was up by 0.3 of a second, improves, and he does go 2.5 or almost 0.3 of a second quicker than Dylan McClements. So there was a mistake on the lap for Legend Rosenberg. McClements puts it close. Here comes Callum Birch rounding for the final corner. Let's see what the Brit can do. Can he put it up to the 5-time world champion? Beats Dylan McClements. Not really close enough to Legend Rosenberg. However, Morris Stumer crosses the start-finish line. No time on the board for the German yet. He's getting his qualifying session underway. Davison into the middle sector now, in towards the double apex left-hander. Turn number 17. Bit of a dive-bombing zone, this one. You might be able to chuck a move down the inside if you time it right. Here comes Tyler Davison, though, rounding through the final couple of corners. Turn number 19, very early turn in for Davison, hops over the yellow sausage curve. Then it's the final corner, turn number 20. Got to be oh so careful on exit here. Very easy to invalidate, very easy to pick up the throttle, and that won't be an improvement for Tyler Davison. He doesn't back off the time, but lost an awful lot of time on it through the final sector. Nathan Marriott rounding through the left-hander. Marriott, you might remember, an absolute superstar last season. Picked up his best ever championship result, won most improved, and was also a shoe-in for driver of the season, but Avestigo Badi took that. First ever non-drivers champion to win driver of the season is Avestigo Badi for his performances last season. It could have gone either way between the three of them. 6 minutes to go in qualifying. Legend Rosenberg still top of the field for now. Callum Birch in second, Dylan McClements in third. Then Tyler Davison in fourth. Luke Davies is in fifth. Matthew Stotts, then home hero, in sixth. Then it's Pierre Dezern, who was in seventh for the McLaren team. Then Sam Fate, the Welshman, in eighth. Timothy Heyer in ninth. Juan Hernandez 10th. Nathan Marriott currently in 11th. Then it's Yafin Panguru, Can Dolger, Julius Gassner, Sam Williams, Avestigo Badi, and Adrian Tishy. Morris Stumer just jumping up to 11th there. We saw the German get that lap underway. He has jumped up to 11th spot. and there he will remain until his last run of the session. We will just cut the cameras for a second, folks. We'll be back in 1 minute. Just a technical difficulty to fix. All good now, folks. In case you're wondering what you missed, absolutely nothing. It was gone for about 10 seconds. But Dylan McClements is getting his second or his third qualifying run underway, potentially fancying 4 runs, which is not something you usually see around the Circuit of the Americas. But McClements heading in towards the left-hander, turn number 12, using all the curb on the outside to rotate the car in. Oh, a bit of a wobble over there for Dylan, and he is down on his time. 3/10 off Legends pole position. Very squarely in the middle sector, and Dylan McClements not looking like he's going to improve this time, and he's backed off. So smart decision there from Dylan, and he will go again in a couple of moments' time. Head back to the pits, get a fresh set of boots on if he has one available, and then blast it for his final run. The thing about Circuit of the... Oh no, he's going straight for it again. So Dylan not bothering to get a fresh set of tyres on. Is he going to do a cool lap here? He is. He's going to do a cool down lap. So wise beyond his years is Dylan McClements. Just doesn't head straight back to the pits. He's going to do a cool lap, recharge the battery, be as smooth on the tyres, very smooth steering to not wear the tyres. That would indicate that this is his last set of Pirelli softs that he has available for the session. So that is why he'll do a cool down lap and not pit for another set of tyres. That explains that one. Final laps of the session coming up, folks, and it is currently Legend Rosenberg who is on pole position. Rosenberg 130.7, tricky lap to beat. As problems for Avestigo Badi, disconnecting from the session. He'll want to try get back in as soon as possible, because there's not a lot of time left between now and the end of qualifying, and he's currently in 17th position. Not got a lap on the board has Avestigo Badi. He needs to get one on the board if he wants to try and compete for this race win, which is what he wants to do. He wants to win a championship, realistically. He wants to win a championship realistically, and feels the best way to do that is this season. Had his chance last season. Wants to go for it again. Rosenberg out on circuit now. Dylan McClements rounding for the final corner. Let's ride on board with Dylan through the first sector here in the final lap of qualifying. Dylan not going for it again here, weirdly enough. He's not pushing on this lap either. There's not an awful lot of time left for Dylan McClements. He's burned out the best of those tyres now, and not utilising the battery. So Dylan McClements not looking like he's going to be able to improve in this qualifying session. He's leaving it very, very late if he wants to get much of an improvement on the board, but we'll wait and see what he does. Matthew Stotts gets his final lap of the session underway, as does Luke Davies. Davies heading for the first sector now. First race for Williams Racing, of course. In through the left-hander now, flat out left down the hill. Braking for this one, though. This is turn number 11. Third gear through here. You almost want to use all of the exit. Dylan McClements not Dylan McClemens, apologies, I've said Dylan McClemens' name too much. Luke Davies as, oh, Matthew Stotts. That's a crash out of the session. A very rare mistake, and that is Stotts out of qualifying. Very disappointingly at his home Grand Prix. This would have been a red flag in real life, but the session carries on here, and Matthew Stotts will start a maximum of 5th. Davies rotates the car through, rather unorthodox, but a decent driving style from Luke Davies nonetheless, just keeping the car gripping to the road. Braking, turn number 19, flicks it through, uses that yellow sausage curve to help rotate the car a little bit. Didn't take as much as we saw Tyler Davison take earlier, so that is good from Luke Davies. Up and across the line goes Luke, second row of the grid, goes to 4th, beats Davison. Callum Birch down on his first sector. He's going to keep it pushing, slides up the hill, and that's going to cost Birch just a little bit of lap time. Legend Rosenberg, we'll see what he's doing on his lap down towards the left-hander. Gabadi has got back in, but he will start 17th. Won't start any further up. Rosenberg is improving once again, and it's looking like it's going to be another one of those magical FVR qualifying laps from Legend Rosenberg. In through the left-hander now. Needs to just maximize his traction. Big middle sector from Tyler Davison as well. Rosenberg can't afford to throw this lap away. Needs to improve just to cover off the two drivers behind him. Birch doesn't seem to be improving. Is now invalid. No improvement from second place man. But what about the man on pole? Rosenberg 1:30.5 splits the barrier with an unbelievable time. Can Davison have a final word in session? It's the front row of the grid for the RB. It's not quite pole position, but he'll be happy with that nonetheless. He'll be able to have a go at the 5-time world champion up the hill and in towards turn number 1. No improvements from Timden Higher. Yafan Panguru up on his time in the Williams. Probably looking to grace the top 10 maybe with this lap. Maybe just pip Sam Fate. Could do it a good starting position. Could Panguru upon return. He's going to be up and across the line. Think it was just a little bit lower than 10th. But a decent lap nonetheless from Yafan Panguru. Yes, it was 12th. So not quite able to take the top 10 positions. As it is Legend Rosenberg who is on pole position here at the United States. Tyler Davison second, Callum Birch third, then it's Dylan McClemens, Luke Davies, Matthew Stotts, Juan Hernandez, Pierre Dezern, Nathan Marriott, Sam Fate, Timden Higher, Yafan Panguru, Julius Gaston, then it is Morris Strumer, Cahan Dulger, Sam Williams, Adrian Tishy, Avesta Gobadi, and then Giancarlo at the bottom of the session. Folks, we will have the FVR United States Grand Prix coming up in a couple of moments, but in the meantime, let's take a look at the track map. So as you can see, very difficult circuit, 5.513 kilometers, 3.425 miles, 20 corners. Lap record currently held by the previous United States Grand Prix winner, Charles Leclerc. Longest flat-out section is 1,090 meters down towards turn number 12. It is a circuit that is loved and hated by some, but it should provide us with some fabulous racing action here tonight. The plans for the current circuit were first proposed in July 2010, and the promoter Tavo Helmond, who was a former racing driver in Formula 3, secured a deal with Bernie Eccleston from 2012 onwards. And we haven't really looked back since then, have we? It's been a fabulous race, this United States Grand Prix, or now the Grand Prix of Texas, of course, as we head to more American venues, such as Miami and Las Vegas. But this season of Formula Virtual Racing should be a thoroughly entertaining one, and it starts now. We have 19 drivers here this evening, all looking to make an impact and all looking to get their season underway. Can anyone stop Legend Rosenberg? 5-time champion. He won last season's championship in season 13, won season 12 to win his 4th. Didn't quite get season 11, but he is looking to win his 6th this season. Has said if he wins this championship, he will bow out of it. Sorry, folks, I just forgot that you couldn't see the pit lane, and you were still looking at the track map. That would have been disastrous if we had gone lights out, which we should be going very shortly. Strategy here around the Circuit of the Americas will be looking for a lot of usage of the medium and hard tyres. Soft tyres will not be worth anything And as we head here for the first time in season 14, we go racing in the United States. Great start, Tyler Davison looking to get a run on Legend Rosenberg. Up the hill potentially in towards the first corner. Look at this move from Callum Birch. Tries it down the inside. Luke Davies forced to the outside. Off the circuit goes the Scuderia Ferrari of Juan Hernandez. Not able to make much of a move. Rosenberg up and away into the S's. Perfect launch for Legend. Luke Davies, Callum Birch battling in towards the first sector. The Briton is looking for the move on the Alpine, but no joy there for him. Standing on the medium tyres is Luke Davies. I believe he's one of few to go for that choice. And you can see, oh no, most of the field on the mediums, only two on the hards. That is Dylan McClements and Sam Williams. So expect Dylan to fall back just a little bit on that hard tyre, but that is nothing to be overly worried about. We head into the sun here in the circuit of the Americas. Davison closing in on Legend Rosenberg in front. I wonder, is he going to go for a move here? No, a little bit too far back. Luke Davies going for the move, though, on Callum Birch down towards the right-hander. Davies gets it done on the brakes. Great move from the Williamsman, and he gets the job done on the inside of Callum Birch. The McLaren and Nathan Marriott looking for the move on Avestigo Badi. Julius Gassner making a space over Pierre Dezern in the back of the grid. Problems for Dezern, I believe, as big lunge down the inside. What a start this has been from Avestigo Badi. He's already up to 9th. A cracking 9 positions gained on the opening lap for Avestigo Badi. He wasn't hanging about, really, was he? Incredible stuff from the Ukrainian, from the runner-up last season here in Formula Virtual Racing. As the tyre smoke once again reigns supreme, you can see Tim Den Heyer looking for the move on Nathan Marriott. First lap completed here in Texas. Rosenberg the race leader. Tyler Davison in second. Luke Davies in third. Then it's Birch, Stotts, McClements, Hernandez, Faith, Gobadi, Nathan Marriott down in 10th. Then it's Panguru, Den Heyer, Tishy. Then it is Dolger, Stumer, Williams, Carlo, Gassner and Pierre Dezern. Tim Den Heyer, a man on the move very early on here. He was under pressure from Yafan Panguru behind, but he has kept him behind, so Den Heyer will remain in 11th place. Sam Faith putting the Spaniard Juan Hernandez under a huge amount of pressure. Sam Williams, that's a very early corner cutting penalty, picks up 3 seconds for multiple warnings, and he will struggle to keep within a decent penalty window to the end of the race if that's what he's having. Massive wobble for Adrian Tishy behind. Here comes Avestigo Badi on Sam Faith for 8th position. Gobadi once again looking for another spot gained. On the brakes goes Gobadi. He's ahead. 8th spot now for the Aston Martin, and what a cracking start to the Grand Prix that is for Avesta. Legend not being allowed to run away at the front of the order. 0.6 of a second separates himself and Tyler Davison. The RB has dropped Luke Davies, however. Luke 1 second adrift of Tyler Davison, who has just set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. And as you can see, as they head up the hill, Davison already looking for a little bit of a manoeuvre. That's a mistake for Legend Rosenberg. Runs a little bit wide off the apex, and he has lost a couple of tenths of a second here. So Davison, I tell you what, he has got to grips with this race very, very quickly. And isn't that just a beautiful camera shot of these two guys heading through the S's? It is like something out of Top Gun, an excellent camera shot. You can just see the elevation change through here as Gassner out of the race. That is that's a weird one for Julius Gassner. He has retired from the United States Grand Prix, and there's a problem. That's Adrian Tishy and Giancarlo who have made contact. That is in the battle for 16th between the RB and the Haas. So problems there for Tishy and Giancarlo, and Davison not able to go for the move in towards turn number 12, but he has dropped Luke Davies. 1.1 seconds the gap between the two. You can see 0.5 between Davies and Callum Birch, so no DRS will be at play for Luke Davies. That's going to allow Callum Birch to potentially go for an overtake on the Briton. What a cracking race start this has been for Callum Birch. Hopefully he can keep up this consistency, because consistency was his problem in his reserve appearances last season. Just wasn't able to stay consistent for the most part. And that is where he struggled. He crashed out a couple of times, most notably at Australia when running in a fabulous position. Could have won that race. Anyone could have won that race realistically. It was Dylan McClemens who reigned supreme at the end. Once again, another mistake in towards turn number 1 for Rosenberg, but does get the exit over Davison, so it is cancelling each other out. But I tell you what, Legend will probably not be too fond of the fact the Brit is keeping with him. Having a look at the ERS front, Rosenberg a significant amount more than Tyler Davison, but that matters not. Davison will have the slipstream and the DRS heading down the back straight down towards turn number 12, so he'll still be in play. A lot of very early penalties, though. You can see 4 currently on the board. Tim Den Heyer, Sam Williams, Giancarlo, then Adrian Tushy and Pierre Desern. Davison almost looking for the move here. Callum Birch is able to get past Luke Davies, so Davies has dropped down to 4. He now has Matthew Stotts and Dylan McClemens right behind. Don't count out Dylan McClemens in this race, that is for sure. He's on the hard compound of tyres, and he will be very racy come the end of the Grand Prix. Defensive line from Luke Davies, who has Matthew Stotts to deal with behind, and Stotts is going to try it around the outside here. Oh, this is one to make the home fans excited. Matthew Stotts not able to do so. It's a very difficult move to pull off around the outside for a corner such as that one, and Matthew Stotts unfortunately not able to do it on this occasion, but he is going for this one. He's not sitting behind and taking what he's got. He wants to entertain the home faithful here in Travis County, Austin, Texas, and he wants to do so in style. No move down the inside of Luke Davies here. He's just going to tuck in behind for the time being. Davies and McClemens would be more used to this kind of racing than Stotts and Birch maybe, just from last season. Dylan and Luke in a lot of DRS trains at the front of the field. Adrian Tushy has had a bit of a spin round. Adrian teammates with Tyler Davison, of course, so 1RB is soaring at the front, 1RB right down the back in 18th position. Disappointing that for Adrian Tushy. Davison very close into the braking zone of turn number 12 this time round, but Rosenberg once again gets the exit. Davison has to burn a little bit of his battery, but they are dropping Callum Birch like a large stone through water. He is plummeting away from the rear of the RB. 2.4 seconds now the gap between the two. The problem for Birch with no DRS is that he's just going to be falling into the clutches of the train behind him a lot more than he can gain in front. That's unfortunately just what the DRS does. You can see sliding out of the corner is Callum Birch. Got to manage the tyres, that is for sure. Cam Dulger making the move on Yafin Panguru as they almost made contact. There was definitely a nudge between the two, but thankfully nothing too drastic, as there goes Morris Stumer down the inside. Bang! Into the wall goes Stumer. The Ferrari. Front wing damage there. Very lucky not to be out of the race is Morris Stumer. That could have easily been catastrophic. He's going to have to trundle into pit lane. Disappointing there for Morris Strumer. Cam Dulger still just ahead of Tim Den Heyer. Yafin Panguru somehow only 0.7 of a second behind, and that is incredibly close for a man who has just had almost multiple tragic events in this race. Making contact for a high-speed corner with Cam Dulger, and then making contact with Morris Stumer. As in typical Formula Virtual Racing fashion, folks, I think we might have a guest joining us in the commentary box, as Sam Faith is getting ahead of Nathan Marriott. Cam Dulger in 11th position. We're going to have Kyle Davis, or Callum Birch. Problems for Birch. We'll hold that thought about Kyle Davis, who is Callum's team boss. But Callum Birch has gone sliding down the order, and Birch having some problems. And that is disappointing for Callum Birch. He was having such a great race, but what did we say earlier on? Consistency is Birch's problem. And that, once again, very much showing Callum Birch not able to stay consistent. That is very disappointing for Callum Birch, who has dropped right down the order. And hopefully will be able to work his way up. Dylan McClements going for the move on Luke Davies. Oh, this is very risky territory between the two, and there's a nudge between them. Dylan McClements gets the job done on Luke Davies, but that could have been almost catastrophic. The Alpine just about staying in front of the Williams. Matthew Stott's up to third here at his home Grand Prix. Kyle Davison, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Good evening, Evan. Thank you for having me again.
Yeah, this is Kyle, like, he doesn't plan co-commentary. It's always very impromptu. As in that whole little drama, Tyler Davison has taken the lead of the United States Grand Prix. Folks, we will be back in one quick moment.
Maybe it's my own fault.
Welcome back, folks, to Formula Virtual Racing, and we have a race in our hands. Davison Rosenberg going at it up towards the first corner. The Mercedes-man looking for the move in towards turn number one. Tyler Davison just staying in front for now. Battle for third as well. Matthew Stotts has fallen down to sixth. We're sorry that we missed that one, folks. Technical issues, aka getting Kyle a share screen, have caused that one. But trust me, you don't want to listen to my voice for the next 20 laps alone. But it is Davison, Rosenberg, McClements, Davies, Gobardi, Stotts, Juan Hernandez, and then Callum Birch down in eighth.
Notable performance by Vesta Gobardi there, who started almost from the back there and is now up to P5 already. Of course, we missed a small battle there, and that's all me, Evan. But I'm glad to finally be here and enjoy this one with you, because this has been an intense race, hasn't it?
It has. It's been a good start to the race. It was an interesting qualifying. Obviously, Rosenberg was able to take pole by quite some margin, but it has been an interesting one. It's certainly looking like it's going to be a good conclusion. Dylan McClements in third, 3.9 seconds off Rosenberg and Davison. Remember, he is on the hard compound tyre. All the other drivers until Sam Williams down in 14th are on the medium, so there will be a tyre advantage there for him. The only risk he runs is if there is a safety car at about this point in the race, he has left himself in a tricky spot.
Oh, he has definitely left himself in a tricky spot, but that's a big if though, because if we're going to guess on safety cars, then it's going to be a very long race for everyone. Morris Strumer with a 3-second time penalty in the meantime, and Zauber is reporting, or Julius Gassner I should say, that he couldn't take control of his car and had to retire because of that reason. So there you go for that one.
Sorry, folks, for the PlayStation menu coming up on the screen, but we could hear a very loud Kyle Davison coming through my PlayStation controller, and in all honesty, it was about swiftness in getting that one sorted. Oh, look at this, Legend Rosenberg going for it. Are they going to go side by side into the S's? No, they're not. Extreme overspeed on the exit of the first corner for Legend, who's got a lot more ERS than Tyler Davison. This is going to be a battle down to 12.
Well, that was a crazy one. I mean, if you make a move around there, it's a pretty dangerous move anyway, but 3 S's? Would you do that like that, Evan?
No, I would. Well, actually, I would, because, you know, I'm just that good, but no, probably not. Not really a smart place to go for it. Here comes Legend Rosenberg, though, going for this one down towards turn number 12. You could see gaining and gaining on the RB in front. And is the Mercedes going to be able to get it done in towards the braking zone? No, staying behind tactically here is Legend Rosenberg. He definitely would have had enough if he had pressed the battery button in towards that left-hander, but he just chose to stay behind for whatever reason, and Legend Rosenberg not able to make the move. This, however, is benefiting Dylan McClements' race. He has just dropped Luke Davies. Oh, there's problems for Davies. He's actually ghosting, and Luke Davies has just lost the position to Vesta Gobardi, or well, has he? They are now as one. There's a bit of desync between the two, it seems, and Gobardi, I should say, has just got in front. If one of these undesyncs at the wrong time, it is going to be almost an instant DNF. As there is a spin in the background for Giancarlo in the Haas. He spun at turn number 12. There's Gobardi ahead of Luke Davies. That is the joys of crossplay, folks.
It is interesting. Oh, he's dropped back again. Luke Davies moving back now, but we've got another battle on hand. We've got Legend Rosenberg again, very close behind Tyler Davison over here. not going to do it to the yeses this time. That is the smart call. He backed off earlier. I don't know what that was about. Maybe seeing more space for the second attempt on this lap. I'm not sure what he's going to do. I think it will be a move soon enough. Wouldn't you expect that?
Well, he's got such a large tank of battery. He's got a bucket load of ERS.
Yeah, you would say he'd go for it.
Like he's letting Tyler catch up because Tyler's obviously not going to burn. Birch out of the Grand Prix. What has happened? The Alpine that's heading through turn number 10. Oh, he spun it into the wall at the left-hand side. That's such an error from Callum Birch. It is a rookie mistake as Legend Rosenberg does take the lead of the United States Grand Prix. Said at the start of the program, Birch needs to work on his consistency. Doesn't seem to be the case. He's out.
Oh, yeah, and that is an early end to what was originally a great race. He dropped back earlier, but even this is a bit bad from him. That is surely something to work on there, the consistency. As you mentioned, Australia as well. I see another car spun around there, though. It is the... oh, no, never mind. That's just me tripping. I'm sorry, Evan. Still getting used to everything around here.
Yeah, that is... we have... Callum Birch out of the race, Julius Gassner out of the race. Julius's issue seeing more technical, whereas Callum's was a crash into the left wall. No safety car VSC deployed, meaning it is going to be these top two still in a brief world of their own. But Dylan McClemens is slowly clawing in on them. The hard tyre advantage is really starting to kick in, and Pirelli's hardest compound of rubber is definitely better at this stage of the race than the medium tyre in front, and Dylan McClemens is going to just take that advantage and he's got to run with it. He has dropped 2 seconds to Luke Davies, who's got back past in front and is ahead of Avesta Gobani. Matthew Stotts then 5/10 behind in 6th.
Notable also for Dylan McClemens is that he is on the hard compound tires, meaning he will be on the mediums most likely shortly, which is the fastest tire. Well, I guess we're going to see more from him later on in the parts of the stints. Evan, question for you. Would you go for the hards first, or would you go for the mediums first?
The hard tire is a very good tire here in Texas. The only risk you run with starting at the hard tire is if a safety car comes out and you have to pit early onto the medium, your medium will be shot come the end of the race. This is definitely going to be a saving phase for those on the medium compounded tires. Legend Rosenberg, Tyler Davison, etc., etc. They're going to be saving on their tires now more so than pushing. So Legend and Tyler probably don't want to push too much here, but I mean they do also have to, because you can save all you want, but this is still a motor race, as that is unfortunately Pierre Dezern, the Frenchman, who we see just go a lap down here.
Early on in the race as well, 12 laps, that must be very demotivating for him, but I am sure there are many more opportunities for him to improve as well. Notable from Avesta as well, he's catching 1.9 seconds to McClemens now.
Yeah, Dylan lost a couple of tenths of a second there. Obviously, he's in a world of his own now, so there's no slipstream or DRS. If he times it right, he might be able to get a little bit of DRS off Pierre Dezern's lapped car. You can't get a DRS off a lapped car, but Dylan closing speed just too much. He's going to be way in front before the DRS activation point. First few pitters for the hard tyres then. Juan Hernandez has pulled the trigger on the undercut. He is in 7th position, 20 seconds off, and that's not a bad call from Hernandez. The only thing is the tyre advantage with the overcut is very much overpowered, and although the undercut might get you track position, you just want the newest rubber come the end of the race.
You do, and as well, there were a couple of other pitters as well. I believe Nathan Marriott also went into the pits there. Don't really know if that's going to be the best call, but we'll see later on in the race. In the meantime, though, we've also got Tim dropping back a couple of positions there. It's not looking good for the Spider GT team, I should say.
Yeah, speaking of Spider GT, of course, you can tune into the FVR GT Championship every Friday night at 8 p.m. We have 10 weeks of GR3 and GR4 action. Well, not 10 weeks anymore because we are into the season, but we have live streamed every week. Make sure you do tune into that one. It is going to be a bit of a championship battle between Ate Timgren and Avesta Gobadi. Speaking of Avesta, he's just picked up a 3-second time penalty as Luke Davies calls it quits. He is into the pit lane.
Same for Matthew Stotts is my guess. Been a
Yes.
win. Yeah, well, I am really on top of my game right now. Yeah, Matthew Stotts also in the pits there. The two early pitters going for the undercut there. Avesta Gobadi with the time penalty is not serving himself that much of an easy race. However, he's already done really well, so shall see.
Yes, we shall. That's to cover off Juan Hernandez, who, as you can see, one more lap would have been in front of Davies and Stotts. He is now right behind Matthew Stotts, but he has burned a lot of his battery. Stotts burning a little bit into the S's to just keep close to Luke Davies, just to ensure that he does get a slipstream, but Stotts doesn't have those tyres up to temperature, and you can visibly see the difference between Juan Hernandez and Matthew Stotts. Hernandez has had a lap on these tyres, nice and toasty, up to temperature. It's like a warm blanket on a winter's evening. Matthew Stotts, however, is the winter's evening. His tyres are very cold. He's not able to get them up to temp because he has Juan Hernandez right behind, but I think he is okay now. Stotts has got a good getaway, as that is going to be Morris Stumer, who retires in the pit lane. So that is one of the two Ferraris out. As we look at the other Ferrari, not able to make the move in towards turn number 12.
Morris Stumer actually hitting the pit lane there on the entry of it. I don't know why he retired from that, but I guess it was because he was already far behind, but that sure didn't help his race there, did it?
Yeah, usually hitting the pit lane is not a good thing.
It isn't. In the meantime, we got Legend Rosenberg and now Tyler Davison also entering the pit, so we shall see
top
where
two have
makes
come into
sense.
the pits at the same time. That is an intriguing one. As not one of them pitting earlier, Tyler just going to follow Legend's strategy, and I think Tyler's tactic until the end of the race here is just going to be just follow Legend until the last lap.
That is a very smart tactic. I've seen it happen before to my team, and it only worked. It's the annoying thing is when you're leading like that and you try to make different changes to the strategy to come out better in front or have some sort of an advantage. The thing is, you just get copied, so you can't really do anything about that. If you can't beat them, join them.
Yeah, and I think Tyler is well aware that he's probably not on Legend's pace. But if he just follows Legend, stays in his slipstream, stays in his DRS, if Legend is at the front of the race, he will be there with him. The only problem now is that there is 0.8 of a second between the two. Legend has a lot more battery, which I assume he's not going to burn. Oh, he is going to actually burn a little bit. So Legend fancies dropping Davison here, but Tyler does have the DRS still, so that will still be to his advantage. And he is... he's going to be able to close in a little bit, but if Legend drops Tyler out of his DRS, that's almost the race won for him, because this strategy has been a good one. Unless Dylan McClements can pull off something. The only problem for McClements is he's going to end up way behind on the undercut, but then to counteract that, he'll have much better tyres. It's a little bit of a mixed bag in terms of McClements' strategy, but I like what he's trying.
Yeah, definitely. He's trying something else, and that is it's fun to see as well. Stirring up the pot a little bit there, as Sylvester Gobadi has now also entered the pits. I do believe.
10 seconds.
No.
Oh no, that is. It was a very good start to the race for Gobadi. It's kind of gone downhill since then.
Yeah, definitely. First a penalty, and now another penalty. It's 13 seconds worth. In a grid like this, where everything is close, that's going to drop you a lot of positions.
Yeah, 10 seconds, very costly. Of course, on older games, a speeding in the pit lane was 5 seconds. Now it is 10 seconds, as Matthew Stotts has got past Luke Davies. This is for theoretical third place, and if Matthew Stotts was able to take his second career FVR podium in front of his home crowd, that would bring some reaction.
Definitely would. It's way more value for someone to win in a track which is basically his own track. If I would have won in Zandvoort, which I did in FVR every single season, then I would be enjoying it as well. Yellow flag, sector 2.
Yeah, I'd love to win my home Grand Prix, but it's never going to exist, so that's...
Well, you're not going to win either, so, you know, it's double the...
Excuse me, how many FVR organisation races have you won? Because I've won some.
33, I'm the highest ranking member. Legend Rosenberg actually learned how to race from me.
Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough. I'm sure he did. Definitely. As the Davison family won FVR Championship, the Rosenberg family 5, so, and that's excluding constructors.
Now it's the Dalton family going.
Well, I've never raced in FVR, so, you know, technically that's
fair enough.
Technically I've never lost.
Yeah, well, potato, you know. Technically, I've never lost the F1 championship in real life too. Then.
Yeah,
anyway.
You haven't.
Yeah.
I don't see anything wrong with this logic.
Yeah, but I wouldn't put it on my Tinder profile now, would I?
Okay, enough about that. Dylan McClemon's into the pit lane. He's gone for the medium compounded tyres, and I think he might get, or will he get ahead here, Luke Davies. This is very crucial for McClemon's lane on the brakes. Matthew Stott's forced to the outside. Juan Hernandez tries it around the outside as well. McClemon's needs to get these tyres up to temperature immediately, but I tell you what, Dylan McClemon's is in a great position in this race, at least for a third place, might even be able to challenge for the race win if he has enough of a pace advantage on these medium tyres. But he has come out in a very decent position here. It's going to be difficult to drop Davies and Stotts out of the DRS, but Dylan McClements has the potential to do it.
And that was a very smart move by him. I mean, I would... Oh, he's going to risk it again. He's going to go again through the inside here.
There is no fear within the monocoque of Dylan McClements' Alpine. That is for sure. He's going for Luke Davies here as well. Dylan McClements does not want third place. He wants the race win. Down in towards turn number 12. The man just out of the pit lane. Breaks later than Luke Davies and sells him a dream. He's up and ahead. Davies tries back down the inside. There's contact between the Alpine and the Williams, but Dylan McClements is ahead in towards turn number 17. Unbelievable racing from him, and that is how you put on a show. Next target, Legend Rosenberg.
Moves in a row 3. Would you imagine someone else doing it that way? That is showing you have balls and a half over there, and now he's in the DRS of the next target.
Well, he isn't. He's 5.1 seconds behind, but, you know.
Oh! Hold on, I was reading letting Luke. Yeah, my screen is so far away, Evan. I should really do something about it.
Yeah, and to be fair, there's an awful lot of blue cars, which doesn't help us. Oh, little bit of a wobble for Juan Hernandez. Yeah. Gobadi is in this fight as well. He is he has a 10-second time penalty and another 3-second time penalty, so he will end up a very far away from it, but he's trying it nonetheless. The only thing about Dylan McClements is he's not chasing a sole leader. He's chasing 2 cars who are able to DRS and slipstream off each other. McClements, though, will have Luke in his DRS for at least one more lap. He probably didn't want that. Davies will be able to close in just a little bit. Down the inside of Gobadi. Wow, got that move done so quickly. We didn't even get a chance to see it.
Tells you a lot about Gobadi. He's fast, but no, the penalties are not helping him in any way. Luckily, there are some penalties behind him, though. Dylan McClements is gaining on Tyler, actually. I just saw 210s drop off like that. That is insane. He's having a wonderful home race.
The thing about Legend and Tyler here is they're both saving because they plan to battle each other come the end of the race. Dylan's not saving because he wants to be with them towards the end of the race. So the longer Tyler and Legend play silly beggars with each other and try save battery, and oh, I'm not going to go for the move because I want the slipstream. Dylan McClements is putting foot to the floor, pedal to metal, and he is going after these 2 former race winners. There you go, 1:33.7, fastest lap of the Grand Prix. There is a point for that, of course, but remember, it can come from anywhere in the field. So one of the back markers might go for it towards the end of the race. It's never a given. Gobadi goes for the move on Hernandez, way too deep into 1. Hernandez keeps the spot.
You've also got the fact that Dylan is actually carrying the other cars, or was carrying them. He's now flying away from everyone. He was carrying another train towards these guys, meaning you can see some reunited DRS train going on there. Oh no, that's a penalty for spin and win in the meantime. Yeah,
Stotts has picked up a 3 seconds. Gobadi will like the sounds of that, but of course he does have another 10 on top of it. So Luke Davies and Juan Hernandez will certainly like the sounds of that. 4 seconds between McClements and Davison. Now he's cut 1 second off since the last time he was on this straight. The only thing is, the more laps that go on, the worse his tyres will get. The lower battery he will have. As you can see, he runs wide through turn number 12. Might have picked up a warning for that one, but Dylan McClements, cracking job. If he can just manage his tyres now, he'll definitely be on for a 3rd place. It's just about what more he can do.
I'm also noticing someone else, Evan. Can you guess what?
What?
Just in the area of you know. Actually, I'm gonna let you know at the end of the race. We're quickly gonna follow. We're quickly gonna follow this battle of Dylan McClements catching up here. I will let you know at the end of the race.
I'm so confused.
No, I will let it know. I'm gonna gatekeep it for now. Actually, I'm gonna gatekeep it for 9 more laps, and then I'll.
That's literally the opposite of what you're supposed to do in broadcasting.
Oh, but that's why my broadcasting with viewers is so it's original and
Okay.
viewers love it.
Okay.
Don't you
Yeah.
worry about it. Don't
Yeah.
you worry.
We actually lost a viewer since you started this little scenario. So thanks for that, Kyle.
But no, we didn't.
We did.
13.
It's 11 on my screen
Liar.
now. Anyways.
I'm seeing 90,000 right now.
Yeah, definitely.
That's
But 4 seconds now between McClemens and Davison. It's not closing as quickly. Dylan is probably thinking more long run. Tyler's starting to burn a little bit of his battery. Doesn't want to get caught napping here by Rosenberg. Rosenberg might go for it all of a sudden as Davies and Gobadi gonna go fighting here. Luke Davies not gonna have much of a foot in the fight, however. Gobadi just flies past as little bit of a wobble over the curb as we go on board with the Aston Martin. The only thing here is Luke will be feeling fairly comfortable, has no penalties, and it's highly unlikely he's going to be dropped by 13 seconds in the next few laps.
just staying behind the car, really. You don't have anything else to do as...
Tyler has been caught napping. Legend has gone for it. Tyler Davison has made a mistake. 1.9 seconds. Oh, he's disconnected! Oh, I don't believe it! How unlucky can one get? That is a disaster for Tyler. And that will be Legend Rosenberg's 38th career win. Unless Dylan McClemens can pull something from nowhere. Yeah, there's no challenge there for Legend now.
Yeah, and that is so unfortunate for Tyler Davison as well, who's been keeping up quite well. And yeah, position drop, but he has joined back. Maybe he can get in before Avestad overtakes him there. It's really tight.
Wants to get in as soon as possible, but that's an absolute sickener. He was driving a great race. A very good race was Tyler, and he was in for a race win potentially. Avesta drives past him. Tyler, I'm not sure he's able to take control of his car. Seems to be up to speed now. It's just he is still ghosted because the Williams and Luke Davies is just going to drive through. We'll see through the corner here as that is a human driving. So Tyler is back in control of his car, but what could have been a United States Grand Prix win will now be lucky to be a podium.
It's still Luke Davies ahead, but there is a chance. It's not that he's Luke Davies is flown away. However, it's very unfortunate. He was up there, and now he just simply isn't anymore. Avesta Gobadi's back on the podium, I guess you could say. Virtually he isn't, so it's still an achievement for him. I mean, he went from P18 to P3, and that's very respectable.
Yeah, the opening lap is what made it for him. The 9 positions gained before turn number 17 in the opening lap is what made Avesta Gobadi's race, and that was a job well done. Davison flies past Luke Davies, and the RB is going to be driving like a man possessed for the remainder of this race, that I can assure you of. He'll be doing very well to get anything more than third out of this one, though, just given the scenario of the race. Dylan McClemens' gap is no longer closing to Legend Rosenberg, so it seems like he might have to settle for second. He definitely needs to manage his tyres, though. The hard tyres can make the end of the race from when these guys pit. The mediums can as well. It's just not going to be easy.
Definitely not. These tires wear quicker, of course, and it's going to only be harder once you over-push them like Dylan McClemens has been doing for quite a while now, so he needs to make sure he doesn't burn through them and drops to the ground. There is still very much a possibility of Tyler losing a position as well.
Yeah, that's what I think. Dylan has kind of toned it down a little bit, and he is just kind of managing that medium tyre. Knows there's great points in this. It will be 16 for Dylan McClemens. It's, of course, 22 for the win here in FVR, 16 for second. Then it is 40, or then it is 12, 10, and so on and so forth. One for the fastest lap. That currently is held by Dylan McClemens, but we might see someone down the order pit and go for that. Lap 22 at 28, Legend Rosenberg brings us onto, and it's just really a Sunday drive from here to the end for him.
Yep, I can imagine he's listening to some karaoke right now, and he must be aching to get out of the car, really. He has already done 8 hours of Fuji today. And he's won another race, podium in that one and a win in that one. Can you imagine such a day? If we were driving that car...
Yeah, I kind of can, like because I've had to commentate 14 seasons of this shenanigans that Legend always seems to pull off. as he is coming to lap Pierre Dezern once again. That's not another lap of Dezern, it's just he is doing it again because of the way that the pit stops have worked. Tim Den Heyer, Can Dulger going to be battling for 11th position. Another man who's having a good race here, Yafin Panguru in 10. Have to hand it to Yafin. He's going to get a point for the Williams team as it stands, and that is a job well done here on a Saturday evening for Yafin Panguru. Den Heyer and Dulger battling, and Tim overtakes Can in the car Can drove last season. Tyler Davison re-overtakes Avestigobadi. 3.2 seconds to Dylan McClemens. Second might still be on here for Tyler.
Could be, but it's a bit of a stretch. I mean, 6 laps, 3 seconds. It's half a tenth a lap.
Yeah, those mediums are going to start deteriorating, though.
Yeah, that is true. He might actually do it. It's going to be tight, though. We'll see towards the end. The mediums are drowning, though. You can clearly see it.
Yeah, Dylan, he might still be okay. We saw the mediums go to about lap 11 before they started to drop off in the earlier stint. Dylan's done 6 laps on them, so it's going to be close enough. But Davison is going to be giving it a go. The only thing is Davison is he's going to be very angry currently. So that will also help because he did have a race win chance. The only thing here is Dylan is still actually closing in on Legend. It's not much. It's not going to be enough, but confidence, if anything, for Dylan, as he is driving quicker than the 5-time world champion this race.
And that is a statement, of course, for the rest of the season as well. That he is there and he's not there to mess with. Because currently he's been doing a hell of a job.
Yeah, Dylan, of course, one of the younger racers here in FVR. Won't be the youngest champion if he was to win. I don't even think he'd be the second youngest champion. Jack Redmond and Sam Daverset, Kyle's brother, 2 of the youngest champions to win here in FVR. But Dylan, very young, very much younger than Legend Rosenberg and Tyler Davison, I can tell you that for free. And he is giving them a good go. Matthew Stotts, Juan Hernandez. Stotts gets past Hernandez, but of course does have that 3-second penalty, which might be removed, but unlikely, I'd say.
Oh, and then of course you also have Avestigobadi. I do think he's going to drop very far now that all the gaps have come down a little bit.
He'll drop to 7th.
7th?
Ooh,
he's got a 10-second as well.
No, he'll drop to. No, he won't drop behind Nathan Marriott. Nathan is 9 seconds behind Juan, and then Matthew and Juan are 3 seconds behind Luke, who's the second behind the best. So he'll drop behind Juan. Still
a shame though. It's I mean, I know Avesta well, and he's not gonna like it. So that's not something he wants to finish at.
No, his qualifying was very much hampered though. So in all honesty, it's not the worst result. No championship has ever been decided in the opening race of the season either.
Oh no, definitely
so
no.
It's a long
not
season.
An FVR.
And Avesta knows that even if you do get an advantage in FVR, it can diminish very quickly, just like his did last season after the Australian Grand Prix. He knows even if Legend takes the maximum here today, that can change.
It's going to change anyway. You've got some new challengers coming up on the coast as well. Dylan McClemens is showing a great progress. I've seen loads of him from last season already, and he's just right on the top immediately again. Young as well, so there's... Oh my god, Avestigobadi, he almost... What was that? Did you see that, Edwin?
No, I was reading a stat sheet.
Some sort of a car... he just pulled his steering wheel off his desk, I think.
It'd be a very Avesta thing to do, wouldn't it? And then probably injure himself in the process.
Yeah, break his elbow again. It's happened before, when it happened again. Yellow flags in turn 1 again. That's probably...
Yeah, that's Adrian Tushy who has gone off. No safety cars, no VSCs, funnily enough. We've only had the 3 retirements. Morris Stumer, Callum Birch and Julius Gassner.
Didn't even need the safety cars for some exciting racing though. This has been a really great opening round. So congratulations to you as well for that, because this has been fun to watch.
Yeah, it's been a good opening round. Disappointing we didn't get a battle for the race win, because I think that would have been spicy between Rosenberg and Davison. But yeah, Tyler going to be very frustrated with that, because he's not won since season 10. The Dutch Grand Prix, where he pulled off that infamous move on Thomas Main. The Davison dummy, as it was dubbed. He wants to win. That's no secret. He definitely wants to win, and I think today was an opportunity that's gone to begging. Not because of any fault of his own.
No, and I mean, surely it's only the opening round. I mean, if you can already be there, you can be there in the round 2 again. Same place, same time. It's just gonna be a matter of a practice again, because I'm sure he's fast enough to do that. In the meanwhile, time though, there's a move being done.
Yep, Gobadi back past Davison. That's for third. Remember, Vesta still has 13 seconds worth of time penalties, but he's ahead for the time being.
And yeah, it's just still mentally a good thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, confidence-wise, we spoke about it for Dylan, but confidence-wise for Avesta, third from where he started is quite positive.
Really positive. It's really hard to go through a track, and he went quickly. The first lap, and you go nine places up. That shows some incredible racecraft is needed. And he has that.
Yeah, it's a job well done. I'd like to see the onboard of the opening lap, to be honest. 9 positions gained is no mean feat.
Definitely not. In the meantime, though, a penalty for someone who I don't recognize. Evan, can you?
Yeah, that's Giancarlo who has picked up the penalty. Jean has not had a bad race either, considering he only got home about halfway through to qualifying. As unfortunately, I do have to send someone an invite, folks. So we will be back in 1 second. Welcome back, folks, to Formula Virtual Racing. It's still Davison who is looking for the move on Gobadi, and he's going to get it. Lap 26 or 28. Tyler probably would have loved to be teeing up his overtake attempt on the mighty Legend Rosenberg about now, but unfortunately that's not how this race has gone. Dylan McClements is looking like he's going to take second as well. 3.5 in 2 and a bit laps. Oh, I thought Gobadi was about to go off the road, but that was a lank spike. It's looking a bit stretched. All the battles for position are unfortunately going to be decided by penalties here, which is quite disappointing. But it is also the nature of Kota.
Yeah, it is. It is a really hard track to draw in the line. Surely with the SS, but there are loads of other corners, as Vesta's proving to us, where you can get penalties. Vesta now 16 seconds worth of penalties.
And that now will dump him. That will dump him behind Nathan Marriott, I think. So that's another position lost.
Yep. That is unfortunate. It's valuable points, even if it's P9, P8, or P10. The difference can be very small right now, but it might be really big at the end of the season. We won't know until it's actually there. So any points you can grab right now, more the better.
Yeah, you got to take your point, especially early on in the season. You don't know what could happen happen next week. You could get absolute sent into oblivion in a wall at turn number 1. You don't really know. Aha! We're gonna have a bit of a duel for the fastest lap. Both Can Dulger and Tim Den Heyer have both pulled into the pit lane for a set of softs to go for a fastest lap attempt. So that is intriguing. Can, of course, he's going to be behind Tim, actually, because he has just served a penalty. So Tim Den Heyer will have the clean road. Can Duggar will be behind. Oh, neither of them will have clean road, because here comes Giancarlo, who has just gone ahead. So now we have 3 cars in very close proximity, 2 of them going for the fastest lap. Giancarlo will be dispatched fairly quickly, I imagine, but this is intriguing, as Tim has just picked up a 3-second time penalty. Very intriguingly as well, as that would have been a dangerous move to go for, as Giancarlo is forced into an error and Den Heyer gets past. So we'll keep an eye on these two, because this is going to be quite interesting for the final point, the fastest lap point. Avesta doesn't go for the move on Tyler, stays behind for the time being. Gonna go for it into 12, even if it's only for position on the road, not in the penalty count or on the timing screen. Avesta doesn't know what Tyler's got into in this race. He probably thinks Tyler could have taken out 6 cars for all he knows. He's got to take the position while he can. It's
also mental things too. It's really good if you're driving like Avesta right now to prove yourself again and again. And even if it's just to only yourself, it's still really good to get these positions. So the importance might maybe lost upon the viewers, but it's definitely lost upon the drivers. And he's gonna go for the move around here. DRS open now, and I think he's gonna do it over here.
Yeah, Davison still taking an defensive line, but Avesta Gobadi pulls to the right-hand side and does take third place. But the fact he has 2 3-second time penalties indicates one won't be removed, and Davison will get this spot nonetheless. But ready for the final couple of corners, it has been what we have been so used to in many season openers in the past. There was a lot of questions, as always, coming into the season. Who will beat Legend? Who can beat Legend? What teams will beat Legend? The answer... nobody beats Legend, and for a 38th time in his career, Legend Rosenberg wins in Formula Virtual Racing. He wins the United States Grand Prix in Texas. Dylan McClements will come home in second. A job well done from Dylan, and a fabulous start to the season. Tyler Davison will come home in third. He'll be the most unhappy man on the podium, as it's a case of what could have been. Gobadi will drop to 7. Marriott made a mistake on the last couple of laps, so Avesta will finish in 7th. In terms of the fastest lap shootout, both Den Heyer and Dulger going for it, but Dulger's made a mistake, so it is Tim's to take here. Can he beat Dylan McClements' fastest lap? Ready for the final corner is Sam Fate, last season's Constructors' Championship winner with Legend. He'll take 9th. Yathan Panguru, a great point here. He'll finish in 10th. He'll finish in 9th. It's 2 for Yathan. The German will take 2 points. Now we're just waiting to see if Tim Den Heyer can, in fact, take the fastest lap.
About it, Tim Den Heyer has been at the source. I'm hoping he should be able to take it here. If he doesn't take it, that should be investigated by the Spider GT team. We shall see. He's going through the last corners now. Oh, a little bit of a slide there. I don't know if that was the make or break part of the circuit. We'll see now.
No, he does.
Fastest lap it is. 33.434 in the end.
It is the fastest lap for Tim Den Heyer, so it's going to be the top 11 who get points here in Formula Virtual Racing, and that is a job well done by Tim. Juan Hernandez very happy now as well, because not because of his race, because Barcelona scored just as the race finished.
Yeah, you amaze me with the way you can be able to multitask on things like that. Thank you for informing me, actually. I'm watching as well.
Yeah, I got a Go notification as I picked up my phone to ask about interviews. I can't claim too much credit for it.
Yeah, you spoiled it for me though, but we'll move past that.
Here is your podium then. It is Legend Rosenberg at the top of it. Then it is Dylan McClements in second and Tyler Davison in third. We'll get the full race results in a moment, as well as some post-race interviews. Here is the confirmation of your full results. It is Rosenberg ahead of McClements in second, and then Davison in third. Then Luke Davies in fourth. Juan Hernandez in fifth ahead of Matthew Stotts in sixth. Avesta Gobadi in seventh. Then it is Nathan Marriott, Yathan Panguru, Sam Fate. Then it is Cam Dulger, Tim Den Heyer. Then it is Giancarlo, who's ahead of Sam Williams in 14th. Adrian Tushy in 15th. Then it is Pierre Dezern, your non-finishers. Morris Strumer, Callum Birch, and Julius Gassner, who were not able to complete the United States Grand Prix. Let's hear from your podium then, as we bring in Legend Rosenberg now. Legend, congratulations. It is another season opener win.
Thank you very much.
And it is actually a little bit different because it's your first FVR win on PC.
Yeah, exactly. It's felt different today as well. I don't know. I think a little bit more comfortable on PC.
Yeah, was it was the 37 wins on PlayStation better, or the one on PC? Which was more enjoyable to drive?
Well, I had many great wins, so I think one of the PlayStation ones so far, but who knows what the future will bring.
And then just on this season as a whole, obviously you are definitely the one to beat, but you've started off a potential 6th championship winning campaign in fabulous style.
Yeah, maybe. Obviously, it's very early to say. It's only the first race. A lot of things can still happen, but yeah, for now it's a great start. Great pace, although I think it could have been a little bit better because I haven't touched the game for like the last time was Abu Dhabi, season 13. But still, great pace. I actually didn't expect to win today or get pole. So I'm actually a bit surprised that the pace was so good and that I won.
Legend, thank you very much for joining us, and congratulations on the race win.
Thank you.
Before we do get to Tyler, let's bring in the second place man, Dylan McClemens. Dylan, you went for the alternate strategy today, and it paid off very well. Second place for you. Are you happy with that one?
Yeah, I'm happy with that one. Yeah, I'm happy with that one because the strategy didn't really work out in my favor, but especially after being P6 at the start of the first lap, I worked my way up and happy to get some good amount of points. I would have been a bit more happier if the fastest lap didn't get taken away at the end there.
Yeah, we saw just after you came out on the pit lane on the medium tires, you came out third in the train, and by the end of that lap, you were leading it. Extreme pace from you in those couple of laps. Were you maybe thinking in the back of your mind, "Oh, the win could be on here," seeing that pace?
Yeah, I mean, I did see it coming, but then as the laps got on, the mediums got a couple of times slower and slower. See, I wasn't gaining that much on Legend and all ahead, so it was just like if these boys keep battling type way. But the mediums at the very end they were terrible. It felt like they're a couple of seconds off there.
And then going on forward, then if you keep this momentum up for the rest of the season, there's definitely a good result at the end of it, surely.
Yeah, especially since last season I didn't get to do a full season, but still finished relatively high in the championship. So this season I'll be looking to, maybe battle for the championship and get the championship in my second season.
Championship ambitions. I like it very much, Dylan. Thank you very much for joining us, and congratulations on the podium.
All right, cheers.
And now let's talk to the third place man, Tyler Davison. Tyler, you are on mute, by the way, but look, a very disappointing end to what could have been a very promising United States Grand Prix, I think.
I don't know what you want me to say, mate. Heartbroken doesn't say enough. It's not very often you get to keep up with a PSGL F1 driver who's had no practice very often. So yeah, pace-wise, I'm over the moon. Obviously, it's a shame. What's happened, but I think it is well and truly been confirmed now that I am cursed to finish in P3 every single week.
Oh yeah, you came third again, didn't you? Oh, yeah. In terms of let's put a positive spin on it. You were the only one to keep up with Legend today. Bar Dylan's few laps where he was on the pace as well, but at the start of the race, you and Legend ran away from the rest of the field.
Yeah, like as I say, I mean, you can say he's had, practice as much as he wants, but like, let's be honest, has he done PSGL F1, hasn't he? So I mean, he can.
No, well,
F,
he doesn't race there anymore.
Hasn't he? Yeah, but he has. Don't worry, he's raced the PSGL F1. So
True.
I feel like a man of,
True.
A man of that caliber, and he's an idiot from Yorkshire's keeping up with him.
Are you saying PSGL F1 is a very promising, is a very good tier?
I'm saying it's quite competitive.
Sorry, just for the viewers at home who need context, I commentate that tier, so I just want to inflate my ego a little bit. But back to FVR then, Tyler. Coming into tonight, you were obviously feeling that you liked this track, but the pace wasn't great. Your pace was very good. So for tracks that you do feel that the pace is a little bit better, could we maybe see the winless run end?
No, mate. We've got 9 rounds left, so I'm planning on getting another 9 P3s. It just feels right to finish there. Look, I'm sorry for giving rubbish answers, but I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed.
Just
can't lie,
about the disconnect. Was it just a simple disconnect, or did something happen? Because it was very sudden, and you did get back in very quickly, thankfully.
So I was chilling, and Legend, when that little red cross comes up, where it's like, and I thought, Legend's disconnected, I'm actually going to win and race. and then it said migrating host, and then it said that you left, and then it said everyone else left, and I was like, ah.
Yeah,
I-
I've had enough disconnects to know that that's not a good thing.
Yeah, so I literally restarted the game immediately, and I think I was only out for half a lap, was I? Something like that.
You got back in. You left at turn 19. You got back into the exit at turn 2.
Yeah, it's about half a lap, give or take. So yeah, it was. I did the best what I could have done, but look, would I have won today? I don't know. I could have done, but would I have done? Look, it'd have been 50-50. I feel like I had the pace on Legend, at very least in the first sector. But it'd have been one of them. We'll never know, which is a shame, really. I'm more bothered about the fact it cost me a good race rather than the points in the championship, to be honest. I would have liked to really push Legend to his limits and really see what he can do when he's being pushed, rather than just winning by 20 seconds every week, which he likes to do.
Tyler, thank you very much for joining us, and albeit not a well received P3, it is one to congratulate you on nonetheless.
Thank you very much.
So that is all we do have time for, Mr. Kyle Daviser, and it was a good race nonetheless, I think.
It was a really enjoyable race, and thank you for having me again. I will try to not be as impromptu for later on in the season, maybe, but
Yes, you will.
I can never guarantee it. Always, man. It's been an enjoyable one. Thank you for having me.
And folks, you can tune into the FVR GT Championship next Friday, and then our action once again here on the Saturday. So make sure you don't miss that one. It has been a pleasure to have you alongside us. Stay safe, stay well, and we shall see you next time. Bye-bye.
Maybe it's my own fault. Maybe I led you to believe my highlights started on the podium and not in practice.
The Legend Rosenberg is a 4-time champion of the world.
Maybe I made you think that every race I did, I won.
2 litres in the tank for Legend Rosenberg, rounding for the final corner. Does the greatest to ever do it, but if he doesn't, Scots and David steals it at the Yana bricks.
Maybe it's my fault that you think I'm unbeatable. Maybe I led you to believe that championships were given to me and not something I worked for every single day. Maybe I destroyed the league, or maybe you're just making excuses. Maybe you can beat me. Come and try.
Thank you.